to another Rise of the 1% podcast episode, and I am G Bass. And in today's Rise of the 1% podcast episode, I got alongside me Rise of the 1% podcast co-host, my brother, Bri Williams.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you on for another one, brother. Absolutely. So, Bri, we're going to start off the podcast today because I know we just released another episode over the last week or so, and it's been a great amount of viewership. We've gotten some commentary on the episode or what have you, and one of the big topics that we talked about on that particular episode was what was going on with 50 Cent and T.I. Okay, what was going on with 50 Cent and T.I. And what I wanted to start off this episode talking about, so if you're new here and you have not looked at that episode, you can always go back and look at it. It's still on our YouTube channel. It's on Apple and Spotify as well. In regards to our commentary on the 50 Cent versus T.I. feud. But if you have viewed that particular episode, you probably had saw in the episode where I went pretty hard when it came to speaking about T.I. and Grand Hustle.
Yeah.
Right? I went pretty hard when it came to speaking about him. And I wanted to dive a little bit more in detail on this episode of why was that. Okay? And I want to talk a little bit more about the business side of things.
Okay.
So, as I spoke on in that particular episode, I actually have had ties with Grand Hustle in the past. And the person that I had ties with, which was with a guy named Clay. Right? Clay actually was one of T.I.'s right-hand men with Grand Hustle in terms of business. And so when I was in the entertainment business and I was a club promoter myself, I was an artist management myself, I did a lot of business through Clay when it came to Grand Hustle, right? So this is the guy I spoke to on the phone and things of that nature when I wanted to book Young Dro. So I booked Young Dro a few times. I talked about that in the last episode. You know, I booked Young L.A. as well, Baby Boy, rest in peace, Rich Kids, etc. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, what I will say is, when it came to doing business with Grand Hustle, which is T.I.'s record label, it was always great business. I can't even name one hiccup. Yeah. It was always great business. Now, I've done business with some others in the city back when I was in the entertainment business, where it didn't go as well. Right? I mean, people had me put up money, things of that nature. I lost investments, all that type of stuff. Right? So when it comes to me looking at T.I. and Grand Hustle, I look at it as it was always stand-up business. Right? What our agreement was, it always got fulfilled on. I also looked at it as well as, if you look at it, all the artists I said that was signed to Grand Hustle, including my boy, Dope Boy Raw, which is Bri knew Raw very well as well, was signed to Grand Hustle. Yeah. T.I. put on a lot of artists. Remind me of myself when it came to Hard Hitters. Yeah. Bri, right? Yeah. Had a lot of artists signed up under management, up under what we was looking to form as a label as well. And so it reminded me of myself, putting a lot of people on, giving a lot of people opportunities. Mm-hmm. And I've always respected T.I. for that. Not saying that 50 Cent didn't do that with G-Unit as well, but when I look down here in the South, it hit home a lot more because I was promoting clubs and bringing these artists through my parties that was signed to Grand Hustle. I knew Raw from a youngin' all the way up. You know what I mean? So that always struck a nerve to me. Owning restaurants, which is T.I. owns, that's employment opportunities. I look at myself, Bri. I've employed people over the years with the Rise of the 1%, right? Giving people opportunities. People have generated income. People have made livings actually working with the Rise of 1% over the years, right? So it's a lot of different things that I've seen in common. And Bri, I share this with you as well, which is, I'm not necessarily saying you don't know this, but I want to speak more on this in depth. when we started the Rise of 1% podcast, we actually used to highlight 1%ers of the week.
Okay.
Right. If anybody's tuning into this episode, you go back and look at our first episodes of the Rise of 1% podcast, you'll see what we were highlighting 1%ers of the week. Meaning people that we saw as 1%ers that was doing big things, making an impact in a big way. Mm-hmm. I felt last week when I was speaking, I was highlighting T.I. as one of those 1%ers. Yeah. If that makes sense, right? I was giving him his flowers, which is not done a lot these days, especially when it comes amongst our community. At times it can be jealousy and envy, things of that nature in our community. No, I give flowers where they're due. Mm-hmm. Now, I can tell you this, Bri. I helped a lot of people in the entertainment business, right? And I don't have to, we'll be here for I don't know how long if I went through the long list, right, of the impact that not just myself, formerly known as G Money, but hard hitters, so many people we had an impact on. Flowers may not necessarily been the same over the years, right? But I'm not that type of person. I give people their flowers. Yeah. I love to celebrate people who I've seen make an impact, helping other people, giving people opportunities. And that's what I've seen with T.I., if that makes sense. And that's why I went so hard in that clip last week that's gotten a lot of viewership, people commenting on it, because of the fact of, I say, that reminds me of even myself. Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah. Right? And Bree, shout out to you as my brother. You've always given me my flowers, inspired me, you know what I mean? Has been there with me, Bree, since the beginning of my business journey to where I'm at now. Mm-hmm. Shout out to you. Shout out to Denise Murray as well. Business Oscars. Business Oscars, that's something new. Yeah. Right? We used to Oscars just being for people directly in the entertainment business, right? Yeah. She created something new that I believe, I told Denise this, that's something that could carry on for the next year. In Rising 1%, we was a sponsor on her event. But I said, I want to help contribute to this for the next years if you're going to keep this going. Yeah. Right? Because this is something new. You actually giving entrepreneurs and business owners their flowers. You know what I mean? And it was a lot, you know, it don't matter your race, but I'm just being quite frank. With this one, it was a lot of black entrepreneurs and business owners making their moves, and you giving their flowers outside of entertainment, outside of being an athlete, things like that. You're not saying there's nothing wrong with those things, but dang, we doing something in another area, we getting our flowers. But I stopped there, Bri, let you come in.
Yeah, see what you didn't see, well, you probably saw it too. I can't say you didn't, but what I saw, yeah, the Oscar that you got,
appreciate it, brother.
You changed that woman's life. Mm. She credited you, yeah, for allowing her to quit her 9 to 5, yep, and go full-time in business.
Absolutely.
She didn't credit nothing. You. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yep. And so, like you say, with these flowers, you know, so I guess my don't grow flowers. You feel me? They don't know more, but I know where they grow at. Exactly. So I'm gonna pass them. Yep. You know, I'm gonna give them. So, and she did that. She do as well. So that was, I respected her.
Man, you know that meant a lot to me, man. Hello, this is G Bass, Rise of the 1%, Rise Media. We on this Saturday evening about to get ready to knock out some podcast episodes with some individuals here in the city of Atlanta making some big moves. You can see here, look, this is how it goes down. Here when our guests come and sit down with myself, G Bass, other Rise of 1% of Rise Media, to have that conversation, to share the story, share the journey, share what you got going on. So listen, everybody got a story, everybody got a journey, and then you got some things going on, then you definitely can get with us and see if it'll be a fit to be on the Rise of 1% podcast and actually have that discussion with myself. It's going to be a link to a form you can fill out. You said www.theriseof1%.com/pod-form. Again, www.theriseof1%.com/pod-form. It's going to be in this video. You can fill that out, and we can see if there'll be a fit for you to come on and have that conversation with myself. If you don't fill out the form, then obviously it's not for you, and that's fine. We're looking for those that's serious. Those that's serious about rising to the top 1% are already in the 1%. That's what we're looking to sit down with myself right here. As you can see, Rise Media, Rise to the 1%. This is how we get down. We have a great time and have a lot of fun doing it. So once again, if you're serious, make sure you fill out the form. We'll look over the form, see if it's a fit. If it's a fit, we'll reach out. If not, we won't reach out. We'll just continue to move forward. But with that said, this is G Bass. See you soon.